Alright, so we're checking out another new EDC flashlight from WURKKOS. This is the HD02, very nice, hefty, easy to hold in the hand flashlight. It does come in several different modes. You have your UV light, your white light, and they also have these side LEDs here, as well as a green laser. So let's take a look around the flashlight first. We got a nice 6061 anodized aluminum. The button and this dial is very clicky. It feels good. It's not easy to move, but of course that's what you want. You don't want it to change modes by accident. Got a nice clip here in the back, but it's not a two-way clip, so it's only one way. Got a USB-C port in here for charging, and it does reverse charging as well, so you can use this as a power bank. So you got your white LED, your UV light, and your green laser, and the battery is here in the bottom. So it is waterproof rated, and there is an extra, I'll show you the extra stuff that comes in the box in a second. You have to unscrew this cap at the bottom, and yeah, there's going to be an extra O-ring on the extra stuff that came. So you unscrew this, and when you first get it, there's going to be a piece of paper in here that's basically protecting the battery from being discharged accidentally. But it comes with the WURKKOS branded 21700 cell, 5000 milliamp hours, 18 watt hours. So pretty big battery. The bottom is also magnetic, so there's a little metal ruler. You can see that it will attach to stuff. So if you want to use this as a work light, for example, you attach something and then you turn on the side lights here. So there's one on each side, and they are adjustable in color temperature as well as in brightness. The rest of the stuff you get in the packaging: standard USB-C cable for charging. You get a wrist strap and an extra O-ring for the battery compartment. Quick look around the box here, just some features: maximum 3200 lumens, 330 meters beam reach, and it has the green laser and the UV light. Here are the different lumen levels. So you've got these side lights here. That's ones on the, they call these the side beam lights. There's cool white and warm white because it can change the color temperature. I'll demonstrate that here in a second. You can see the lumen levels. The low side is 5 lumens, 300 lumens on the high side. So it's actually pretty bright, even though it's only 300 lumens. When it's on the warm white, it's only up to 250 lumens, a little bit not as bright. And then on the spotlight, the main white flashlight, low is going to be 10 lumens, max up to 3200 lumens on turbo. And then here are the various run times here. So it looks like on turbo 105 minutes maximum. And if you're using just the side light, maybe as a reading light, for example, 145 hours, that's quite a lot. It does have a strobe as well, IPX6 waterproof, and 1 meter drop rating. The color temperature on the side lights are 3000 to 6000 K. Weighs 195 grams, so it's fairly hefty for the size, and here are the dimensions. Alright, so we'll just do a quick overview of the dial here. So you got your UV, you got your white light, and then you got your green laser. Green laser, pretty standard, turn on, press the button, turn it off. Nothing fancy there. Obviously, you know, you're going to be using this to point out things, you know, if you're maybe doing a lecture or something like that. But obviously you don't want to be pointing in at people or airplanes, so don't do that. Got your standard white light, get that to in a second, and you got your UV light, so you can turn that on. And one of the things you can use this for, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, is you can actually use these UV lights to check for counterfeit currency, and you can look at the little pointy UV light as your magnetic stripe, and then it'll light up a certain color, and it has, you know, some print on there. You can see if the currency you've got is counterfeit or not, at least in the United States. And then you have basically a low UV light and a high UV light. So you just press and hold, and it goes to a higher lumen level on the UV light, and then press and hold again, it goes down to the low level, and then short press, it turns it off. The main light here we want to demonstrate here is the main white light. So if you just short press it, turns it on, and it remembers whatever was your last setting. So I'm not exactly sure. I think this is the low setting. If you press and hold, it will increase the lumen levels to max, and then you get a blink, and that's the maximum. That's 3200 lumens here. It's probably overblowing the camera. And then press and hold again, and it will reduce it all the way down back to the low setting. Now, if you're in the off setting, if you double click, you'll go into turbo mode straight away. So double click. It's turbo mode straight away. Short press to turn it off. And if you want the strobe mode, you triple press 1, 2, 3, and you'll turn that off. So the button for the side lights will work on any of these modes. It doesn't really matter what it's set in. You just have to pop this open and it'll automatically turn on. And you can see we have a certain color temperature here. I'm not exactly sure what I had set it to, but basically to turn it off, you short press, turn on, just short press. If you long press, it will start increasing the brightness, and it'll flash, and that's the maximum 300 lumens, and you can see it's quite bright. And even though it's only 300 lumens, so I'm going to raise this up here well above the camera. You can see it's even though it's still blowing out the light. When it's on the maximum, you long press the button and it will reduce it all the way down to the lowest setting. So when it's on and you want to change the color temperature, you're going to press and hold, and then that will adjust the temperature. I think we're in the cool temperature right now. So click and then hold. It's getting warmer. And then when you see the blink, that means that we're in the warmest setting. So that is the warm light. And then we'll change it back to cool light. And it blinks, and that's the other end of the color temperature spectrum. And then press to turn off. If you want to go straight into turbo mode, you double press, and that goes right into the brightest setting. All right, so at this point, go ahead and take it out and in the dark and see how the side lights do, as well as the main LED. Yeah, I'm mostly curious how well this will work in terms of like how much illumination it provides with the two side lights. And you only need you don't need to use both. You can just use one or the other or both. It's kind of up to you. So obviously, if you need more light, you want to extend both of them. But if you just need a little bit, then just extend one. And so we'll test that out in the next part of the video. All right, so here's a little example of the flashlight, just using the side light, the LED. I have it magnetically mounted to the side of the car here, and just using one of them, and you can see the entire area is well illuminated. They showed an example of this on the product page. That was a good use case. You know, you can stick the light up with a magnet and work on maybe putting on some chains, for example, something like that when it's dark out. That'll work pretty well. Just one example possible of what you use this for. All right, so doing a test here on the scooter with the HD02. No headlights from the scooter on. I'm going to turn that on just to give you an idea what that looks like. And there's a street light over there, so turn over this way. Give you an idea, there's a tree over there. And this scooter headlight is kind of pointing up a little bit. I need to adjust that. It needs to point more towards the ground. But just as a point of reference, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn on the HD02. And here we are at pretty much, I think this is turbo mode. I'm going to adjust this. It's pointing a little bit too far down, but as you can see, quite a bit brighter, 3200 lumens. All right, it's right around here. The beam is pretty focused in the center, but there's a wider beam that goes beyond the center part that is pretty bright as well. So the whole peripheral is also very well illuminated. And yeah, this is, I think I forgot to mention the beam angles. I'll put it up on the screen here for the center beam versus the wider beam. So there's actually two beams there. So obviously, using this as a flashlight, you're going to want to look forward, but if you want to see what's on the outside periphery, then this definitely does a great job at that. Alright guys, so that'll cover for this video. Got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check this guy out. Talk to you guys in the next one.